Kanami is the founder of No, and he has a son by the name of Ziami, which influenced a lot of how No Theatre was. Ziami was a pretty boy, so what happened was he was used by the Shogun lords. So he didn't really like them, so he would always make Shogun lords the secondary character who would be made fun of. And the main principle of No Theatre is dream versus reality. So they would have two sequences that are repeated, a same sequence that is repeated, but one is in a reality state and one is in a dream state. So it is up to the audience to decide which is which, but usually in the dream state, the main character is either dead or asleep, and he walks in a different manner. And it was No Theatre became popular because it was supported by the samurai. So what happened was, that was during the aristocrat and samurai wars, and when the samurai got into power, they needed an art form to support. So they supported No Theatre, which originated on the streets. Yeah. And it's very interesting. They have a 6x6 meter stage with an angle entrance. And it's in that state so that you can do a lot of mirroring and yeah. So we learned all this history about it, only for him to just go and tell that we will create our own No Theatre performance, which was, for example, he made us all do an action, revenge, home, death, and there's no more. Revenge, hope, okay, so there were four, I'm sorry, I can't remember. So then we all will learn, so we will have a vocabulary of actions with us, and then we will create our own pieces. And because of the jump, an hour. Basically, No Theatre is very different from Suzuki because in Suzuki you are to stop, but in No you have to pretend like you're stopping, but make as little noise as you can. So it was very interesting for me because I had just learned Suzuki and I had to do quiet steps. Yeah, it's very interesting. So let's just jump right out and try to find a way to jump which requires the least effort. So we jumped for an hour trying to figure out what was the best way to do this. And what he wanted to show was that when we jump, our body weight is still, because we're made of water, our body weight is still stuck on the ground, and when we go down, our body weight goes up. So he wanted to show us body weight. So he taught us this other exercise where you use your body weight to stretch. So instead of purposely rolling your head, use the weight of your head to stretch itself. The same goes for the arm. So you only move your arm when it needs to go up. Other than that, you have no control of your arm. Yeah. It's tiring. So we came up with a performance called the Baby Eating Giant. And this was just whatever that we had learned from the vocabulary that we all shared. It was really fun, yeah. So all we did was we repeated it, and then we had someone play music, and I was on the flute, and yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was really exciting because yeah, it was exciting. It changed my life. I met so many people. I'm happy that I'm going to see them in one more week. Made such good friends with all these people. As an artist, how I changed was I became more comfortable with what I was doing because I had to prove to them that they shouldn't mess with me and that I had something to say. So after going through that and listening to what they had to say about my works, it was very heartening and yeah, I started believing in myself again. And I think a new line of works came up about because I just love the idea of MaMa. MaMa itself houses artists during this summer program just so that people can talk and have a break and have like an artist vacation and interact and really just kind of reassess your goals. So it is an invaluable experience and I wanted to do that, so I brought it back with this placement. It was something that I just wanted to share with people. So I had 15 people come in, and yeah, and I told them, I'm sorry, I can't pay you guys, but I will also share what I've learned and hope that you guys be in the same project with me. And then great things happened, and it was just about building a community. And I thought, yeah, that's what inspired me. So now we've reached the Q&A. Yeah, if you have any questions. I'm sorry I have to rush through this. First of all, I'm so sorry for not being prepared. And it was 8 things that I had learned. It was quite difficult to do in 2 hours. Yeah.
How long was it?
One month. Yeah. They provided food. But because I was in 2 sessions, the food repeated itself. I was like, oh no, I'm eating again in the first week. And then because it was 2 different weeks, there were new participants in the second week. I had to prove myself again. I'm so tired really. I was like, yeah. Really, it's really awesome. I mean, if you guys can go, please go. But apparently my year, we were really lucky because we had a translator, Marina, because we had a photographer, an official photographer, and an official video artist who recorded everything. And we had actors to work with. We went out to town a lot because we were doing such specific work. So, yeah. Oh, this is Mia. She is the artistic director of the MaMa, together with David and David also taught us, he shared with us, he's a director as well, and he does workshops for directors about identifying what they want to do. So he will ask you questions like, so how much do you want to earn, and how much do you need, and not how much you want to earn, how much you need to survive, what is your goals as an artist. He'll just sit down and talk to you, which is really nice. Yeah. So, any questions?
What was the most surprising thing that you learned?
Surprising thing that I learned. That kids are the worst critics. The kid who's in the baby monitor now, Yuna, she was watching one of the rehearsals that we were doing, the baby eating giant one, and she was like, Mommy, how is it not good? We were fooling around. We were fooling around. We were like, okay, no, it's not good. We know what to do. So she was like, Mommy, you're not good at it. It was for us. Yeah, she's so cute. I love her. And she would play pretend with us. So every time during meal time, we would have to play with her. Not we would have, we would love play with her. She invented games that didn't make sense. Like we were throwing rocks and shouting "Super Shapes!" and then it was just really yeah. She is the best thing now. She would go to India. I don't know why she loves to go to India. She, like in the rehearsal space, she would be okay. Let's go on the plane. And then we go on the plane. Oh, I'm a princess. I'm going to India. It was so fun. And she wouldn't want to sleep because she has to sleep at 8. That's after dinner. Just to be out with us at India. Yeah.
Like did the MaMa program like change you in the way you apply your way of directing or writing, or is it more like a philosophical state of mind kind of change?
I think both. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were things that I learned that I applied directly. For example, for displacement, it was copy paste, but I think it made me want to look at people who I meet up for, and myself as an artist and as a human making art. So if that makes any sense. Yeah. It's not about. I mean, I used to just write plays because I thought this was clever, this is smart, this is right then, but it has shifted me to a more community-centric art. Yeah. Art making.
Did it affect how you were tahan?
It affected why I was in the tahan in the first place. And tahan for me was just hope lah. Instead of doing something dark like charge. Yeah, just wanted to. But I mean, there's so much darkness already, so I just wanted to be light. Yeah. Not light, it's not that be light.
What is your appreciation of like the audience response? Like maybe before the MaMa, did you feel like when someone said like they enjoyed the show versus like post MaMa when you have done something that had the MaMa inputs in it, like how the audience respond when they say I enjoyed the show? How different is your own feeling of getting response from the or I
appreciated it more. I mean, when I was younger, I was like, oh, people are saying it's good, but I always had that even it's just not like I always doubted it lah. Like, when I used to say that because they told me my friends, I know. Like, but now it's really just taking it in, like, okay, thank you. Like really, it's sincere lah. I mean, like if the person already comes to you and says that was a great show, it's what it is. Like it's him being honest. Yeah, and I take it more without judgment. Yeah, without thinking, oh, it's just saying that this is my friend.
What do you look forward to? Sorry, after the MaMa. What do you look forward to?
I look forward to. I think La MaMa. Before La MaMa, I wanted to migrate. I always thought, give up on this godforsaken land and go overseas. But when I came back from La MaMa, I look forward to actually building a community of artists, and I think I've sort of somewhat started that. And not just artists, of humans, because we are so special. There's nowhere else on earth that is Singapore. There is nowhere else on earth that you have this meeting, for example. We are a beautiful chance encounter of a sewing machine on an operating table. This is a beautiful chance encounter. You would never have this anywhere else. Maybe in New York, I don't know. But there was hope for me in Singapore. I mean, don't just abandon it. There's so much more that you can say. I mean, there are people who are looking for hope, and why not be, facilitate them.
Myself and Orvieto, we were to a real performer and did a placement for like 16. And it was an amazing journey because how long were you back from MaMa?
I had just 1 month before.
Okay, yeah. So he came back as our director, and we were just given so many new experiences in the rehearsal period. We were exposed to the newborn, different physical exercises or vocal exercises, and we were quite a large group. And so in the rehearsal period, which was over 3 or 4 weeks, we did become a community. We ate together. We made props together, we would go out together, and when we finally did, we worried together, we worried about, when are we going to get into that place where we're going to perform? We've not got in yet, and when we finally did get in, we had a little bit of a hiccup, and we still couldn't get in, but we stayed together as a community, we got that space together, and we performed this site-specific piece. I think we opened. When we did finally open, we opened under really adverse conditions. We had biggest blizzard blowing between us. It was like, what's happening? And we performed in the rain and wet to the skin, but we were like a family, we were a group. And Irfan was the facilitator of that. He was the sort of get together. It was a really great rehearsal period. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We've actually stayed, we still keep in touch, and we meet up, and we still have that kind of stuff belonging, and we meet at the place. And many of us went into mourning afterwards, we're not meeting anymore.
Morning.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you.
Some of the pictures at the Orvieto fire station. Yeah, this is the address. Yeah, it was raining on the first night. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, we had a chap who broke his leg with alcohol, and he performed in a wheelchair about a day and a half after having surgery. That's how strong the group was.
Apart from the fire station, right, what other places in Singapore have you been inspired by, like site-specific?
The first site-specific work I've done was actually with the youth wing, Breaker. It was at 30 Maxwell Road. And it's now an office space. Yeah. I really didn't craft it, I just curated and give them the idea of lost occupations. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you guys just did something like that. No?
We did lots of quite lengthy exercises of like specific during our
Yes,
period.
yeah.
We did it in underground car park, in MRT stations, on the road, just observing the bus stop, people at the bus stop, observing the traffic and stuff.
So whenever we do site-specific work, we'll go out and actually test it on other grounds before we actually bring it to the site itself. Yeah. Now for this placement, it was very special because we only did it that week before school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we crafted everything.
I think it's like you have to talk to someone, you have to ask them a question. What was it?
You feel at home, right?
Make your home, you feel like a big for your home. And also when we did placement, we didn't just like focus on the building itself, but there was a mosque next to us. So we actually, and the show started at like 7:30, I think. So at 8 plus the azan will sound from the mosque. So we incorporated it into the show. It was quite interesting. And then like technically or like logistically speaking, the mosque actually provided us water and electricity.
Yeah,
that community thing went beyond that stuff. Yeah, then the last part, like, we ended up crossing the road outside. So that's very interesting. Like you use the whole space and not just the building.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Can I ask for a licensing issue regarding site-specific work?
Licensing issue.
It seems there's quite a lot of freedom to roam around. Yeah.
It's very. very hard to say because sometimes if you are there, if it's a site, you have to get you have to rent from SLA, and you actually have to get license from MBA. However, there is a loophole if you are traveling. I think. Yeah, somebody told me if you're traveling, you're not really on one spot, so you're not really a performance. So I don't know. Maybe you have some people from NSC to advise. Okay, sorry.
You mentioned several times that you had to prove yourself.
Right.
What were you proving, and what was the big challenge?
I mean, against Americans, I was a small fry. But I realized they were all top. Because when we were given open scripts, all they did was park bench. So they would just put the actors, okay, you're at the park bench, and you're talking. Everyone. Park bench. No, park bench is the table. So there was once I had to really fight for something because the first exercise only 3 people were allowed to do it, and so there were 2 park benches, and then after that it was me. And what I did was basically it was a competition between a couple, and so I had one couple at the window, and then the man was facing the mountain. So basically the rehearsal room, half of it is the mountain. They had to cut the mountain to make the rehearsal room. So Alan Stewart, the founder, just left it bare. It was just really nice. So the other guy was facing the mountain, and it was a dinner scene. And as she spoke, she would track back. She would slowly track back, and he would just talk to the mountain while listening to him. So I think I brought the idea of contemporary usage of space because they were all very naturalistic. And then the next day, so after that exercise, Marco gave me a wink. And he didn't even look at me at the start, so he gave me a wink, and I was like, oh, okay, so I didn't look And then he gave me his script, so we did Neil's script, and then we did his script. So his script, he told everyone, go back home, go back to your room, think about it, we'll present it tomorrow. And I had already my props set already, and everyone was doing park benches. And I'm sitting there, and it was all park benches. And I was upset because they said I couldn't do my presentation because I had already done this one. And I was like, then why did you tell me to, when you give me the script, because I spent a whole night thinking about what I wanted to do. And when Mark saw this, he got affected as well, so he told me, okay, after dinner, just round up everyone who wants to watch, and we get the actors to perform it. And then, so I performed it at night. And it was amazing. I think Neil doesn't like me, so I'm not looking forward to meeting him in New York. Because I think I provided a different perspective to things. And just the Asian, even Stephen, who's Jew, I don't think that's why he doesn't like me, but he didn't really like me until my first presentation, which was the fountain. The fountain. The fountain. So in this one, all I was doing was I was the sad fountain, where everyone else were characters that revolved around the fountain, and all I did was stand there. And at the end of the water spilled out of my mouth to finish it. And then after that, the statue, this guy was playing a statue, a contemporary modern statue that was inside. But he could move, so he moved up and then he kissed me on the cheek, and he said, drive by. And so that was after all the water, and after that, I started crying, and that's when he actually talked to me. Before that, I showed him, I showed him the fire station and saying, I'm doing this work, and there's this building that reminds me of it, and it's just so I was like, it's okay, it's in my bag. So yeah, so I wasn't discouraged, but it was fun also, like shove it up that way. So like the second half also was really tiring. And I did a piece, The Two Men, which is a prose that I wrote in the toilet. Do you remember the cafe? The breakfast place where we had breakfast. It's one beautiful toilet, and yeah, from then on I just started doing site-specific work every time we did a presentation, because it was the first thing that we learned. So I just used everywhere in the estate to do it. Yeah, okay, you see the mountain. See, there's a tree. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Some curry puff. Jelly puffs, they're delicious to die for. Jelly puffs. I'll prepare the video for watching.
What is it? Huh?
Yeah.